Hello, my friend. I am happy you are here with me today. You and I begin a gentle journey. It will feel like a slow walk at sunrise. This story will help you improve your life. It will also help you learn English in a soft, natural way. Simple words, short sentences, warm feelings, and one big human story. Before the story begins, let me whisper something to you, something clear and strong. These are the 10 ways that shaped the path you will soon walk with me. They are not rules, they are lights. Quiet lights that guide a person from existing to living. The 10 ways were these. Start with small steps. Use your time with care. Build simple daily habits. Learn something new each day. Keep your space clean and calm. Move your body with kindness. Listen to your inner voice. Protect your focus. Stay steady during hard days. Share kindness with others. These 10 ways grew slowly inside one life. They came from mistakes, hope, effort, fear, and soft victories. And now, my friend, we will live them together through the eyes of a single person whose life changed in simple moments. Let us begin. I grew up in a small town between low hills and wide fields. The air always smelled like warm bread in the morning and fresh grass after rain. Dogs walked slowly along the fences. Old men sat on wooden benches and talked about the weather. Children ran everywhere, their shoes always dirty, their faces always bright. Every summer evening, the sky turned gold. Birds made circles in the air, and voices echoed across the quiet streets. Life felt slow, maybe too slow, maybe peaceful, maybe limiting. I did not know then. As a child, I often sat near a small river that passed behind our house. The water made a soft sound, like a long whisper. I liked that whisper. It made me feel safe. It made me feel less alone with my thoughts. But even as a child, I felt something strange inside me. A small pressure. A soft question. Is this all? Is this everything? I did not want to say this out loud. It felt rude to the quiet world around me. But the question stayed inside, like a tiny stone in a pocket. One afternoon, when I was maybe 10 years old, I watched my grandfather cut firewood behind the house. He moved slowly, but with purpose. Every movement looked steady, calm, sure. His axe hit the wood in the same rhythm again and again. I remember thinking how strong and peaceful he looked. I asked him, "How do you always know what to do?"
He smiled without stopping his work. "I do not know everything," he said softly. "I just do small things, one by one." That sentence stayed with me for many years. It felt simple, but simple things often hide great wisdom. When I grew older, life began to move faster. School, noise, people, choices. Time slipped away. I often felt lost. I often felt like I was only existing, not living. I forgot the slow rhythm. I forgot the soft whisper of the river. I forgot the steady movement of my grandfather's hands. Then came the day that changed everything. It was not dramatic or loud. There was no storm, no big event. It was a quiet morning. The air was cold, the sky was pale. I sat on a small wooden bridge near the river. My thoughts felt heavy. I felt stuck. I felt like my life was waiting for me to finally wake up, but I did not know how. I wanted change, but I had no idea where to begin. My hands were cold. My heart felt slow. My time felt wasted. Then I heard soft footsteps behind me. I turned a little. An older man from our street walked toward me. Silver hair, gentle eyes, a calm smile. He often told stories to the children. He was not fast. He did not rush. Every step he took seemed relaxed, like he trusted time more than we did. He stopped beside me and looked at the river. "You look like someone who wants life to change, but does not know the first step," he said. His words touched me like warm sunlight. They reached somewhere deep. He sat beside me. "You do not need big steps," he said softly. "You need small steps. Small steps build a big life. And here, my friend, the first way to improve life was born." The first way was beginning with small steps. Small steps are not loud. They do not bring quick success, but they create a quiet path, a steady path, a path you can actually walk. I learned a new English word that day. The word step. It means a single movement of the foot forward. Example, I take one step at a time. This simple word became the seed of my change.
I went home with a warmer heart. Something inside me started moving again. Not fast, not strong, just moving. The second way came the next morning, like a gentle reminder. When I woke up, the room was cold. I sat on my bed for a long moment. I heard my grandfather's voice in my memory. Small things, one by one. So I looked around my room. Clothes on the chair, books on the floor, dust on the shelf. I felt a little embarrassed. How could my mind feel clear if my space was full of chaos? I cleaned the room slowly. I folded my clothes. I opened the window and let cool morning air fill the space. I made my bed. And something changed inside me. A small peace grew. That day, I learned the second way to improve life. The second way was using time with care. You see, cleaning was not just cleaning. It was choosing to use time instead of wasting it. It was choosing action instead of waiting. It was choosing life instead of drifting. Here, I learned two new English words. First, care. It means attention and kindness. Example, I take care of my room. Second, routine. A routine is something you do again and again in the same way. Example, my morning routine helps me start the day. These words shaped the day in a new way.
For a week, I tried to use my time better. I failed many times. I forgot things. I returned to bad habits. But each day I tried again, and every small effort made a small change. Then came the third way, like a tiny seed in the soil. One morning, I stood in front of the mirror. The sun touched the glass. My face looked tired but hopeful. I thought about my habits, how they shaped my days, how they shaped my time. And I understood something clear and simple. The third way was building simple daily habits, not big habits, not heavy ones, only simple ones. Drinking water in the morning, making the bed, reading a short page, taking one deep breath before speaking.
Simple habits build a peaceful life. Simple habits save time. Simple habits bring focus. Here, I learned a new English word, build. It means to make or create something. Example, I build new habits to change my life. Life began to feel lighter. The fourth way came by accident. One cold afternoon, I found an old English notebook. The pages were yellow, the cover was soft. I opened it and saw words I wrote when I was 8 years old. Simple words, child words. But they made me smile. I sat near the window and decided to learn one new word again. Just one. The word was bright. It means full of light. Example, the morning is bright today, and something felt bright inside me. The fourth way was learning something new each day. Small learning, simple learning. One word, one fact, one idea, one question. This daily learning made my mind feel alive again. I started living, not just existing. But the next turn surprised us. It arrived on a quiet Sunday morning. The sun hid behind soft clouds. The air felt cool and gentle. I walked into the kitchen and saw my mother cleaning the table. She moved slowly, almost like she was dancing. Her hands made small circles. Her breath was calm. She looked at me with a warm smile. "You woke up early today." I nodded and sat down. She placed a cup of warm tea in front of me. The smell was sweet and soft. I wrapped my hands around the cup and felt the heat spread into my fingers. Then she said something simple, something I almost missed. "Your room looks peaceful now. I am proud of you." Her words touched me more than I expected. A small warmth filled my chest. It felt good when someone noticed my small steps. It felt good when someone saw the change I tried to make. And in that moment, I understood something important. A calm space creates a calm mind.
And this led me to the next part of the journey, the fifth way to improve life. The fifth way was keeping your space clean and calm. A clean space is not just about things. It is about your mind. A messy room pulls your thoughts in many directions. A calm room helps your thoughts rest. A clean table helps you focus. A quiet corner helps you breathe. I learned a new English word that day. Calm. It means peaceful and quiet. Example: I feel calm when my room is clean. This word became a friend to me. I spent the next days clearing old things, papers, boxes, items I did not use, items that filled space but did not bring value. I opened the window every morning. I let the fresh air enter. I let the light touch the walls. I let my thoughts breathe. And every time I walked into my room, I felt something new, a soft peace, a whisper of freedom. After some time, I noticed something unexpected. When my space was clean, I wanted to move more. My body felt different. My steps felt lighter. And that is how the sixth way entered my life. The sixth way was moving your body with kindness. Not running fast. Not lifting heavy things. Not pushing until pain. Just simple movement. A short walk. A slow stretch. A calm breath. A gentle step. I remember one cool morning when I walked along the old road behind our house. Trees stood on both sides. Leaves moved softly in the wind. The path was empty. I walked slowly. My shoes touched the ground with a soft rhythm. I felt my breath. I felt my heartbeat. I felt alive. I learned a new English word that morning. Motion. It means the act of moving. Example: motion helps me feel better. Movement changed something inside me. My thoughts became lighter. My stress became smaller. My heart became steadier. Some days I walked fast. Some days I walked slow. Some days I only stretched my arms near the window. But every day, my body thanked me quietly. And with every step, I felt a small shift. I felt closer to myself, closer to life, closer to the person I wanted to be. But life is not a straight path. Some days rise, some days fall. We all face moments like this. One afternoon, after a long week of trying to improve myself, I felt suddenly tired. Not in my body, in my heart. I sat on the edge of my bed and looked at the floor. A heavy feeling covered me, a quiet, soft sadness. I felt like my progress was slow, too slow. I felt like my steps were small, too small. I felt like maybe I was not made for change. I whispered to myself, "Why is it so hard?" The room felt cold. The light from the window looked weak. Time felt heavy again. I wanted to escape the feeling. But something inside me told me to stay, to breathe, to listen. And then I remembered the seventh way. a way I had not yet learned fully, but could feel coming. The seventh way was listening to your inner voice. The inner voice is quiet. It does not shout.
It does not force. It whispers. It says, "You are tired. You need rest. You are enough. Do not give up. Keep going." I learned a new English word then, inner. It means inside, not outside. Example: my inner voice guides me. When I listened to that voice, I understood something simple. I did not need to fight myself. I did not need to rush. I only needed to continue. I lay down on my bed and breathed slowly. I let my body relax. I let my mind quiet. I let the sadness pass like a soft cloud. And after some time, I felt lighter. Not perfect, but lighter. I stood up again. I looked at the window. Evening light touched the floor. It looked warm and golden. Sometimes the inner voice is not a voice at all. Sometimes it is a feeling. A quiet feeling that says, "You are still on the right path." That evening, I wrote a small line in my notebook. Listen inside before you act outside. It felt true. It felt strong. It felt like the next step of my journey. But the journey was not finished yet. One morning, a week later, something changed again. I woke up early. The sky was pale blue. Birds made soft sounds outside the window. I felt peaceful. But when I opened my notebook, I saw something different. I saw how often I jumped from one thought to another. How often I stopped tasks in the middle. How often I let small things distract me. I wanted to change my life, but my focus was weak. And so the eighth way began to grow inside me. The eighth way was protecting your focus. Focus is your inner light. You need it to move forward. You need it to finish. You need it to grow. That morning, I learned a new English word, distract. It means to pull your attention away. Example, noise distracts me when I study. I understood that my life needed less distraction, less noise, less jumping between tasks, less rushing, more stillness, more attention, more presence. So I started with something simple. I sat at my table with one book, only one. I read for 10 minutes. No phone, no noise, no moving around. Just reading. Just focus. At first, it felt strange.
My mind wanted to run. My hands wanted to move. My thoughts wanted to wander. But I stayed. I breathed. I kept going. And slowly, my focus returned. Focus became a habit, a quiet habit.
A steady habit. A habit that changed everything. Because when you protect your focus, your time becomes clear. Your actions become strong. Your thoughts become soft. Your heart becomes calm. One day, while reading, I felt something new. A deep peace, a soft clarity, a bright understanding. I was moving forward. I was growing. I was changing. But the next day brought a shock. The next day brought a shock. It was early morning. The sky was gray. The air felt heavy. I woke with a strange feeling inside my chest, like something important was waiting for me, but I did not know what. I sat up slowly. My room was quiet. The world felt still. I walked to the kitchen. My mother stood near the sink, holding a cup of tea. She looked tired. Her shoulders were low. Her eyes were sad. I felt a small fear rise inside me. She said, "We need to talk." My heart beat faster. I sat at the table. She sat across from me. For a moment, she said nothing. She looked down at her hands. Then she spoke, her voice soft, almost trembling. "Your grandfather is in the hospital." The words cut the air. My breath stopped. It felt like the room became smaller. I whispered, "Is he okay?" She closed her eyes. "We do not know yet." I felt a deep cold inside me, a quiet fear, a heavy silence. My grandfather was the one who taught me the meaning of small steps, the one who showed me calm work, the one who shaped my childhood. I wanted to run to the hospital. I wanted answers. But something inside me froze. I stood up slowly. "I need some air," I said softly. My mother nodded. I walked outside. The street felt empty. The wind was sharp. My thoughts ran fast, too fast. They pulled me in many directions. I felt the old chaos inside me again, like I was losing control.
I walked toward the river, the same river where I once waited for change, the same river where the older man told me about small steps, the place where everything had begun. When I reached the wooden bridge, I stopped. I felt weak. My hands shook a little. I looked at the quiet water. It moved slowly, softly, like it always did. And then something happened, something gentle, something deep. I heard the seventh way again inside my heart, the inner voice. It whispered, "You must stay steady now." And that was when the ninth way came to me. The ninth way was staying steady during hard days. Steady does not mean strong. It does not mean brave. It does not mean fearless. Steady means you do not fall apart. You breathe. You wait. You take one small step. You keep your heart open. I learned a new English word that morning. Steady. It means firm, stable, not shaking. Example: I take steady steps even when life is hard. I stood on that bridge and took a slow breath. I said quietly, "I will not break. I will stay steady." The river whispered back. The next hours felt slow. I went to the hospital with my mother. We walked through long white halls. We sat in a cold waiting room. We listened to the quiet sounds of machines behind closed doors. My grandfather slept. His face looked calm but tired. Seeing him like that hurt me. But I stayed steady. I held his hand. It felt warm. I said softly, "I am here."
Maybe he heard me. Maybe he did not. But being there gave me strength. That night, after we went home, I sat in my room and wrote in my notebook, "Be steady when life becomes heavy." And I knew this was true. This was how a life improves, not only on peaceful days, but on hard ones too. My grandfather stayed in the hospital for some time. He slowly became better. Each day he spoke a little more. Each day he smiled a little brighter. Each day he became more like himself. I visited him often. We talked about small things, weather, birds outside the window, old stories from the past. One day he whispered, "You changed. I can see it." I smiled. He said, "You grew from inside. That is the best way to grow." His words warmed my heart. But the story did not end there. There was still one more way to learn, one more path to walk, one final light. The 10th way came on a different morning, a brighter one, a warm one. I walked through the market in our town. People talked. Children laughed. Vendors called out soft greetings. I bought a small loaf of bread, fresh, warm, soft. When I turned to walk away, I saw a young boy standing near the fence. He looked hungry. His clothes were thin. He watched the bread in my hands,
then looked away quickly. Something touched my heart, a small feeling, a quiet pull. I walked to him and asked softly, "Are you hungry?" He did not answer, but he nodded slightly. I broke the bread in half and gave him the larger piece. He looked up at me with wide eyes. His face changed. His eyes brightened. A small smile appeared, shy and quick. "Thank you," he whispered. That moment felt warm, like sunlight inside my chest. It felt simple. It felt right. It felt human. And then I understood the 10th way. The 10th way was sharing kindness with others. Kindness does not need money. Kindness does not need planning. Kindness is a soft choice, a quiet action, a warm hand. I learned a new English word on the way home: share. It means to give something to someone else. Example: I share kindness when I can. That day, I realized something important. Improving your life is not only about you. It is also about others. Your steps create new steps in other hearts. Your kindness becomes someone else's strength. Your calm becomes someone else's comfort. Life grows when kindness grows. I walked home slowly, thinking about the boy, the bread, the smile. I felt something deep inside me. A quiet joy, a soft peace, a warm fullness. That evening, I wrote in my notebook, "A kind life is a good life." And that was the end of the 10 ways. 10 small lights, 10 quiet paths, 10 moments that opened a whole new world. But the story was not finished yet.
Every journey needs a turning point, a moment of truth, a moment when everything becomes clear. That moment came on a rainy afternoon. The sky was dark. The streets were wet. Rain hit the windows with soft, steady taps. I sat at my table with my notebook. I opened it and looked at all the lines I wrote over the months. Small steps, time, habits, learning, calm space, movement, inner voice, focus, steady heart, kindness. I read each line again, slowly, carefully, and then I felt a deep quiet inside my chest, a quiet that reached all the way down to my heart, a quiet that told me something important. After all this, one truth remained. Life improves when you choose to live it. Not in big ways, not in loud ways, but in small, steady moments, in gentle choices, in simple human actions, in attention, in care, in kindness, in focus, in time, in love. You do not need to fight the world. You do not need to be perfect. You only need to begin. You only need to continue. You only need to live. I closed the notebook and looked out the window. Rain washed the streets. Leaves danced in the wind. The world felt clean. The world felt new. And I felt new too. My friend, these 10 ways are simple. They are quiet. They are human. And they can change your life just as they changed mine. Start with small steps. Use your time with care. Build simple habits. Learn something new each day. Keep your space calm. Move your body kindly. Listen inside. Protect your focus. Stay steady on hard days. Share kindness. These ways can guide you from existing to living, from confusion to clarity, from fear to action, from emptiness to meaning. You can learn from this too. We all face moments like this. Your heart is strong enough. Your steps are important. Your time has value. Your life can change. In the end, I stood near the window and whispered, "This is my life now. A life I choose. A life I build. A life I live. And now it is your turn, my friend. Your story is just beginning. If you enjoyed this journey, subscribe. The next story will surprise you. And please leave a kind comment and share new ideas. I will be here ready to walk with you again.